To update the policy related to a Handbook DM 9 Handbooks. Handbook DM 902 revision. Banking Processing and Distribution Center. Effective September 27, 2018, the Postal Service is revising Handbook DM 902, Procedures for Handling Registered Postal Bank Remittance Mail, to update the policy related to procedures for handling registered postal bank remittance mail. Handbook DM 902, Procedures for Handling Registered Postal Bank Remittance Mail. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. For Banking Processing and Distribution Center / Facility Section. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. 4 to 6 processing of remittances by the clerk in charge of the vault, safe, or security cage. Asterisk 4 to 6.2 building the asterisk. Do not place more than 50 plastic. Do not place more than 50 plastic handbooks.
Oh, goodness.
Handbook
Always check the interior.
Always check the interior of the number 2 canvas mail pouch for articles that may have been trapped in the pouch before use. The clerk in charge of the vault, safe, or security cage must write the numbered tin band seal identification number in the Banking Processing and Distribution Center / Facility section of all PS Forms 3883A before placing them into the registered mail pouch. Do not place more than 50 plastic deposit bags in each canvas bag. Include a self-addressed penalty envelope for the bank to return one signed, firm delivery bill, PS Form 3883A, back to the banking P and D. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. 4 to 7 armored courier service. 4 to 7.1 direct armored courier services and other approved procedures. Revise the second sentence of 4 to 7.1 to read as follows. These procedures will be established by the Area Finance Office, Area Treasury Coordinator on behalf of the Area Finance Manager.
Oh, interesting.
With approval of the District Manager, the Local Inspection Service, the Deputy Chief Inspector at Headquarters, the Area Security Coordinator, and the Banking Manager in Bank Relations, Washington, D.C. 4 to 7.2 Armored Courier Service Pickup at P and D. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Revise the text of Item A to read as follows. A. The vault, safe, or security cage clerk or supervisor is responsible for verifying that the armored courier is an approved authorized courier before letting them into the building as follows. And dual ID process. For the dual ID process, the clerk must confirm that the courier has 2 armored car service issued IDs and the name on both IDs is the same. Both ID cards will contain the courier's name, the courier's picture, and the courier's signature. And signature lists. For those armored car service companies that do not have a dual ID process, the vault, safe, or security cage clerk or supervisor must verify that the courier is authorized per a signature list provided by the armored car service company. This list must contain the employee's name and picture. The armored car service company is responsible for providing updated information on all authorized couriers assigned to pick up postal service remittances. Under no circumstances can registered mail articles be provided to unauthorized and unconfirmed couriers. Once authorization has been confirmed, the registered mail deposits can be released. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Add new item H to read as follows. Rename current item H as new item I. H. The clerk in charge will also sign the armored courier's paperwork as proof of deposits from the USPS to the courier. The armored car service company will provide details and examples of its paperwork upon contract award and before commencement of service. If there are any changes to their paperwork requirements, the armored car service company will provide detailed information in advance of the USPS signing this new documentation. If the banking P and D 4 to 7.3 armored courier service delivery to the bank. Bank. Asterisk, asterisk. Discrepancies. The bank must immediately notify Corporate Treasury Banking and EGAN. All efforts will be made to resolve the
Egan.
discrepancies so that the bank does not need to return any item to USPS. In the rare instance where an item needs to be returned, corporate treasury banking and the area will work with the bank on the best way to return the item. Add a new last sentence to item G to read as follows. G. Place the self-addressed penalty envelope inside the canvas bag along with a firm delivery bill. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. 5 non-banking consolidation mail processing and distribution centers and facilities. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. 5 to 6 processing of remittances by the clerk in charge of the vault, safe, or security cage. Asterisk, 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 asterisk,
Oh my
asterisk.
gosh.
5 to 6.2 building the direct bank pouch and using the firm print workstation. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Add a new note after the last sentence. Note, no more than 50 plastic deposit bags should be placed in each canvas bag. Asterisk, plate, asterisk, asterisk. The Postal Service will incorporate these revisions into the next online update of Handbook DM 902, Procedures for Handling Registered Postal Bank Remittance Mail, which is available on the PolicyNet website. And go to Blue, USPS.gov. And in the left-hand column under Essential Links, click Policies. And click Handbooks. The direct URL for the Postal Service PolicyNet website is blued, USPS.gov/CPN. Processing and Distribution Center Operations, Network Operations, September 27, 18. Legal, Privacy Policy, Terms of Use, FOIA, No Fear Act EO data, on about USPS.com.
So, the text of the Postage Payment Service Agreement is printed in bold character. The text of the regulations and the final protocol are printed in ordinary character. The text of the commentary by the International Bureau are printed in small characters preceded by a square. The number of the provision commented on is printed in bold character. Provisions of the UPU acts given to reference purpose are printed in small italics. Interesting. That's interesting. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Y'all might just have to hear me. But my computer's messing up. Okay. The commentary now includes only topical elements to the exclusion of historical explanations. People doing research and wishing to define the origins and development of text are advised to carefully retain the 1991 edition of Volume 4 of the Annotated Act, the 1995 edition of the Postal Financial Services Manual, and the 1999 and 2013 edition of the Postal Payment Service Manual. All right. Doesn't want to work. Okay. Well. Let's see. Additional protocol to the Constitution of the UPU agreement. So there's Constitution of the UPU agreement. Other items are items other than LC in the classification system based on content, advice of delivery, article, Council of Administration, Constitution of the Universal Postal Union. That's what we need. Okay. General list of UPU member countries and territories included in the Union. Jurisdiction by virtue, Article 23 of the Constitution. Interesting. United States of America, territories of the United States of America coming within the Union's jurisdiction by virtue of Article 23 of the Constitution. Trust territory of the Pacific Islands. Federated States. Service agreement. The Model Service Agreement fixes the operational agreements for exchanges of postal payment orders sent by electronic means between designated operators and enables the implementation of postal payment services in accordance with the Postal Payment Service Agreement. This agreement was approved by the 2010 POC and distributed to all Union members countries. It appears in Section 29 of this manual. Multilateral Agreement for Electronic Postal Payment Services. Agreement for Electronic Postal Payment Services governs the exchange of electronic postal payment services between its signatory parties. No need to negotiate bilateral agreements and enables the execution of electronic postal payments orders in accordance with the Postal Payment Service Agreement. And no, you don't. You don't need the 98. 99 works just fine. I actually have a meeting tomorrow. I'm not going to say much on it. I don't know what is going to come of it, but it's good stuff. Keep following the process, guys. Keep following the process. Electronic Postal Payment Services Quality of Service Standards. The POS and the International Bureau and the Post Transfer Group have developed minimum quality standards for postal payment services. These electronic postal payment services qualities of service standards have been available on the UPU website since mid-2017. Financial Electronic Inquiry System for Postal Payment Services. The POC, the International Bureau, and the Post Transfer Group have developed the Financial Electronic Inquiry System for the exchange of claims and inquiries related to postal payments orders between designated operators. The system has been available since mid-2014. Why is there so much space between these pages? Gonna work it? Hold on. All right. We are. Common principles applying to the postal payment services. Each member country shall ensure on a best effort basis that at least one of the following postal payment services is offered or accepted on its territory. Money orders in cash. The sender hands over funds at the service access point of the designated operator and asks for full amount to be paid to the payee in cash with no deductions. Outpayment money order. The sender gives instructions for his account held by the designated operator to be debited and asks for the payee to be paid and paid the full amount in cash with no deductions. In payments money order, the sender hands over funds at the service access point of the designated operator and asks for them to be paid into the payee's account with no deductions. So this is like the call service that you're adding on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Hold on. So it says postal transfers. The sender gives instructions. Okay, we read that already. COD money order. The recipient of the COD item hands over funds at the service access point of the designated operator or gives instructions for his account to be debited and asks for the full amounts specified by the sender of the COD item to be paid. This is the way that we do it, guys. I don't got it now, like at all. After today, my computer's not working. Okay. Definition: postal payment services. Component authority: any national authority of a member's country which, by virtue of the powers conferred on it by the law or regulations, supervisions the activities of the designated operator or of the person referred to the present article. The competent authority may contact the administrative or legal authorities engaged in combating money laundering and terrorist financing, and in particular the National Financial Intelligence Unit and the Oversight Authority. Y'all, this was enacted. So the postal banking came back in 2001 on October 4th. That's when they brought this back. It was here from 1911 to 1967. And then they stopped postal banking. And then they brought it back in I guess it was back in like 2015. But they started a new initiative on October 4th of 2021 for the postal banking, where they started cashing checks at pilot post offices. They want us to use them. They need us to use them. We need to use them. So, partial advance payment made by the issue designated operator to the paying designated operator to ease the cash situation of the paying designated operator's postal payment services. I'm good. How are you? So, ring fencing the compulsory separation of users' funds from those of the designated operator, which prevents the use of users' funds for purposes other than the execution of postal payment service operations. Clearinghouse. Within the framework of multilateral exchanges, a clearinghouse handles multiple debts and claims arising from services provided by one operator to another. Its role is to put to account exchanges between operators that are settled through a settlement bank and to take the necessary steps in the event of settlement irregularities. Clearing, a system enabling the number of payments to be made to be kept to a minimum by drawing up a periodic debit and credit balance for the parties involved. Clearing involves two stages: determining the bilateral balances, and by adding these balances, calculating the overall position of each entity with regard to the entire community in order to carry out only one settlement based on the debtor or creditor's position of the entity in question. Yes, this is back. This is the newest manual. This one is from, I think it was 2013. I'm not exactly sure right this second. Hold on and I'll tell you. So this is the 2018 902 revision. And this is where we were. Oh no, that's not where we were. This one doesn't say a date. Yeah, a lot of people don't, but a lot of people are waking up to it. More and more every day. Security deposit, amount deposited in the form of cash or securities to guarantee payments between designated operators. Payee, natural or legal person designated by the sender of the beneficiary of the money order or postal transfer. Third currency, intermediate currency used in cases of non-convertibility between two currencies or for clearing settlement of accounts. So, due diligence in relation to users, general obligations on the part of designated operators comprising the following duties: identifying users, obtaining information, so monitoring postal payment orders, checking that the information concerning users is up to date, and reporting suspicious transactions. Personal data, postal data, electronic data interchange. So this is the right path, guys. I'm just about sure of it at this point. I mean, I have had some remedy, but not anything like to write home about yet. A win is a win, but I guess I'm standoffish because we've all been trying this for so long now, and nobody has really had success. Yeah, I think so, and I think like you put your fingerprint. You know, when we were, I remember a long time ago they used to put like footprints on birth certificates and stuff, and I think that's how you authenticate the birth certificate. I think that's you're showing that you are the living man or woman, and you are putting your fingerprint on there, and you are staking claim to your certificate. Grand Rising. So Currency of issue, currency of the country of destination, or third currency authorized by the destination country in which the postal payment order is issued. Issuing designated operator which transmits a postal payment order to the paying designated operator in accordance with the acts of the union. I gotta write that down. Hold on. I want to come up here. I hate talking to myself.
Hey girl, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I just came downstairs and got some more water.
Fantastic.
I know. That was so random. Sorry.
I'm just sitting here, I'm sitting here reading a postal manual. My life's not very exciting.
Well, I was listening to you guys this afternoon, and I have so many questions. I'm gonna get my book and go back upstairs, but I was just curious because, like, have you tried it and it gone through and everything?
Yes.
Oh, that's exciting.
I've had 2 payments, and I think, okay, so I have an appointment tomorrow with the people in Washington. And I think that it's like the last step of setting up this account, like to get everything like where you're good to go. Like it's your like bank account at that point.
Yeah.
Like you have anything you can do in ACH or wire, you can essentially pay with that. You have to claim it, you have to balance the books. There are things that you have to do, but like I think as far as like us being able to pay our bills and stuff, that's, I mean, I've got the meeting scheduled tomorrow. I've called and talked to them several times now.
Yeah, that's exciting. Because I was listening to Sloan, and I have my 3 EINs that are, sorry, I'm looking for the page. You know, like I have my foreign grantors trust, the private banker's EIN, and then the 99 estate number. And I wondered how that would be tied into that.
So I think that as you, you build your assets, it's your liquidity. You build off of those EINs and LLC. Like you're essentially like building your own empire, pretty much. You're becoming your own bank and you are fully controlling that. You're getting like this call center box where I guess I haven't wrapped my head around it yet. Because in order to be able to process the remittances, you have to have what's known as like a call service box. And that's how they process the payments. That's what we were just kind of talking. I was just kind of reading over some of that in this manual here. And whenever you have that, then that's what's actually, you're giving them permission to authorize the payment on your account. But there's so many of them being processed daily. I guess I don't understand yet where those are coming from. Unless we are truly becoming banks and like giving loans out to people, and I guess I'm confused about that part today.
Yeah, because I know the post office, obviously it's a bank. There is a master file. The call service box, I would assume, would be your post office box, right?
Well, you have your post office box, but that's something you attach onto it. It's called a call service.
Okay, so that's a separate thing. So you have your PO box, and then you have okay, that's what must have confused me when we were on this afternoon, like when Elena was on and you guys were
Mm-hmm.
talking, taking notes. And I was just like, something's glitching in my head that I'm not connecting those two things. Because I also got what is the business box and that kind of thing. Like I opened that up and I was snooping around in there to see kind of what it was and what it offered and that kind of stuff. But I think I just need to do some more research on it because I know that you can pay it through the post office, and then like I know you can pay it through even the bank, but I would rather go through the post office versus a bank because a bank is going to end up, I don't know, I just think they're so sneaky snake, you know, the bank, not necessarily like the post office. With the post office, I just feel like we need to come back and claim it, right?
Right. Like it's
Okay.
already set up for you. Like whenever you start setting up your account, when you get to the part where you're like at the EPS, the payments services, you already have the trust. Like it's already there. You'll see it. And today I was calling them because I was like, I don't even know, I don't know the proper way. And I've got all these people that I've been telling about this process, and I don't want to be telling them the wrong way. So, like, I want to talk to somebody and know that I'm doing this the right way. And so I called them, and the first time I talked to them this morning, the lady was like super awesome. And she was like, oh, yeah, this is how you do it. And then the next lady was just like, threw me way off track because she was just like, we don't do that. I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, what are you talking? What? But then this other guy, they got a hold of me from a different number this evening, and we're like, we're going to schedule a Zoom meeting with you tomorrow.
That's good though.
Yes,
There's a
yes, it
guy that
is.
out to me. His name is Todd, and he used to be. I think he just retired as a postmaster. Well, I ended up doing a call with him and Elena, and then another friend of ours, and he didn't seem to know what was going on. And when I got off the call, I thought, wait, was he gaslighting us? Because like,
Yes, guys, I think that's part of it because listen, my close friend that works there, he's a very close friend of mine. Okay, guys, like, ain't no way that he should be not telling me about this as close as we are. And acts like he has no clue. And as a matter of fact, he deters me like, no, that I would know. No, that's not like, you're right. They all don't know, but there's certain people that should know. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. Why would you hide it though? They need us to use it. That's the part I don't get. They need us to utilize it. They're in debt, right? They're indebted to us. Would that be right?
I would think so. I mean, this guy was a papaw, so, and he wanted to know what I knew about it. And I was like, wait a minute, but you worked there. Like, you're a postmaster. Like, why do you not know this? Then I wondered if he just wanted to know, like, what we knew,
I'm
but
just wondering if it's an NDA.
yeah, and I asked him that. I said, are you guys under an NDA? Some of the questions that I asked, I noticed he would kind of skate around it a little bit. He would change the subject, or he would, talk a little bit about it, and then he would like change the subject. And I'm like, okay, I'm going
The
to come
thing that
back.
got me, I was like, they're a bank, right? I was like, they have the United States Postal Service bank or federal, what, I don't remember what it is at this moment. I'm tired. But the person that I know, he was like, oh yeah, they have one over blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wait a minute. So, you know something. They know something.
Is that some people, it's like they're very forthcoming, but then some people are like, they don't know anything, but then they're kind of,
I'm not talking about everybody. I'm actually specifically talking about the person that I know. I feel like
yeah.
they, you know, I know that a lot of these mail carriers are just go in and they do their job and they don't, they don't know what's going on with all the finances and stuff.
Well, I took down some notes with the big business account, and then go to Postal One, set up the account. I do have a business gateway, and then additional services. You said go there, and then enterprise payment services system. So
Yes.
so
It's
from what
not
I
services system, it's system, enterprise payment system.
okay. So would we just take our bills to the post office, and then that's how like they would convert it? They would.
Yes, through that. Well, what's going to end up happening is you're going to set it up through your PO box. So all of your bills are going to be sent through your PO box, and they're going to be paid through that box. And then, so I'm going to look this up. I just found it. People's Postal Agenda. I feel like that would probably have some good information in it. And there's a constitution of the United States Postal Constitution or something like that too, if y'all didn't know, because I didn't.
You would think if it's already an account, right, and it has a bill that comes in, then that bill should just be deducted from the account, like the master file that we already have, and then sent back out. So there's not going to necessarily be like this. Do we have to do like an A for V on it? Like we get it. Like, okay, so here's what I would think. I would go to my post office. I would go through my mail, open up the envelope, do the A for V, throw a couple stamps on it because I'm already there, right? Throw some stamps on it, put it back into the envelope, and then send it back. But I don't necessarily have to get a new envelope. I could just stick it
Well,
back
here's
in.
the thing.
Go
They
ahead.
are using these intelligent barcodes.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how all that integrates in. Hopefully I'll be able to tell you guys today after 3. But they're using these intelligent barcodes because remittance payments go completely separate from the rest of the mail. So they get scanned and yeah, they're a bank. They get scanned and they get taken to a completely different part. It's kind of like how we have the equity court and, they run parallel to each other, but they're not the same. It's kind of like that with regular mail and remittance mail. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly yet because the bills that I did have, they had helped me. So I don't know exactly how to do it all yet. I know that you have to convert it to Excel. So you're going to have to be able to do, well, they'll do all of it unless you're doing the handwritten bills, like if you're doing the stamps yourself. But if you're using just your PO caller box, then they're going to kind of keep up with your books too. So they're going to do your balancing.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, so I was thinking once we go in there, we would grab the bill from the box, from the PO box, do the A for V, or maybe scan the little code, stick it back in the envelope, and then stick it back in your box, and then or give it to the carrier, and then they send back off to wherever it came from.
And what they do is they process them at 6:00 at night. That's when all the transfers and stuff get processed daily. So you can it'll be processing, you'll see it in there, and then at 6:00 it'll get processed.
Then you should be able to see it on that business gateway too.
Yes, and you can.
Yep. That's smart.
So everything that you've got going through that account, you're going to be able to look at and see. And really, it's kind of genius the way that they've set it up. And I kind of think this was part of, I know that the post office was a bank to start out with. And I know that didn't just start, but I think this is part of that whole 2022 not the crypto stuff, but like what the actual,
Do you think it's QFS?
I don't know. It could be because I started, look, y'all, I found a video. I wonder if I can play it from here. It's a video I made almost a year ago, or no, back in March when I had been at this for a minute, but I didn't know nearly what I know now. And the questions that I was asking kind of just correlated and made it all make sense for me. I'm going to hurt my dog for breaking my computer. I'm going to say it was him.
Because I wondered about the transfer of wealth, and I wondered about, like, there's going to be a lot of us that already are on this and that kind of thing, but over time, it's just going to start to trickle. Where people are like, yeah, we just pay our bills through the post office, and people are going
How
like,
do you
what?
get it to every person?
Yeah.
What is one service that almost every person has? Almost every.
Post
Yeah.
office, birth certificate, social.
I mean, it would make sense that this would be part of it. And the reason I say that is because it was like something was redone with it. They
Yeah.
started back in 2021. That's when they started cashing. They had a check cashing pilot to revamp the banking through the postal service. And that started in 2021.
Are you at your computer?
Yes, and it's glitching so bad.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I want you guys to look this up. Let me find it, because let me mute you because I'm gonna leaf through this whole.
Okay. Oh, come on.
Okay, I found it. Everybody at your computer, this is gonna blow your mind. Now, some people, like, I did my social security number, and my social security number changed. But then I did, because I have 3 kids. So my son is 32, and then my oldest daughter is 29, and then I have a younger daughter who's 27. So my oldest 2, their numbers, their socials changed, but my baby, my youngest, did not. Okay, my social even changed. So if you go to this website, it's ISIN, D as in dog, B as in boy.com. So isindb.com. Over to the left-hand side, you're going to see where it says fix CUSIP. Put your social in there, and it's going to change your social. And I wondered why it changed some of them and then why it didn't. And then I put my court case in there. And it changed it. It added another letter, like another number to it. It's isindb.com. Left-hand side, it's going to say fix CUSIP. And put your, because here's my thought. They just had the breach, the Social Security number breach. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to use that as a way of the transfer of wealth.
Well, see, okay, so you're saying that. I was looking at my birth certificate the other day that I had ordered or certificate of live birth, and the numbers on it. So the numbers, I noticed that the registration or the file number, I think it was. So the certificate number, it matched one of the numbers within the trust through the post office. Or maybe it was it was something to do with like the date, because I remember I'm born in November, so it was 11. But
Are you Scorpio?
I am.
That's why you're so investigative. I'm a Scorpio too. There's somebody in there. It says it changed mine off by 7. Yeah. It blew me away. I was like, wait. So I'm going through my head and I'm like, okay, so is that like a private social? Is that a private number? But why wouldn't it have changed my youngest daughter's? It left hers the same. Like same. But then my first 2 kids, it changed it.
I'm going to have to, let me go check mine out real quick. Hold on.
It's wild. Craziest thing. So I just wondered if it was why they would change some and not others. And then, like, you know how our birth certificates, it has like all capital name. Well, I was born in 1973 and mine is not all capitals. Mine is upper and lowercase. You know, where some people's is all capitals. Mine is not. So I'm like, okay, did they change it at a certain time? Did they only do some people's at a certain time? You know, so I don't know. I just know that everything is for a reason and there's so much symbology and that kind of thing. Did it change yours?
I don't know. It's not working right on all my stuff is like not working right. I try every time I go live anymore, like my phone just crashes out at some
Yeah.
point. Like I'll have it on the charger and everything and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. My stuff does too. Sometimes, like, if I'm even on live, like, it'll drop me down, or, I mean, shit, my whole account dropped. November. Yeah, you're a 73 too. You're Scorpio, right? Yeah. Depends on what side of the deacon you fall on, if you're in the front or the back of the deacon. Yeah, so everything, I don't know.
But I definitely, guys, I feel like this is how we're supposed to be paying our bills. Like, I mean, it's not a question anymore if it's possible to do through the post office or through the postal services. It's just a matter of getting it all set up at this point, because I mean, I've had it confirmed several times through the workers. And I have remitted the 2 bills, but I guess I'm still angry about that, and I don't take that as proof yet because I've had them claw back my payments before. I've had them issue the money and then take it back, so I don't get my hopes up very easily.
Well, you would think if we do the A for V, right, and we use the stamps, right, there's the post office. You know, we're already in the place that would provide the stamp for us to pay for it. It seems legit.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. Like, it makes
Yeah.
total sense that this is how we would do it. I just can't believe that. Well, I don't think that it's always been like that. I do think that this was part of like when Trump signed all of the papers, and I'm not like getting political here at all, guys. So please, nobody come at me. I don't care about any of that at this point. Like, it's just about freeing us. But when he signed all those papers in like 2020 to start this initiative, I think this was part of it. And it could have been even sooner that it was started. I'm sure it probably was. But yeah, I have not been able to get a certificate of live birth. I went through the vital statistics office and I called them. It was like $100 to get 2 birth certificates, and they were the certified ones for legal purposes. But the initiative is there was the People's Postal Agenda. So I want to look up Egan. Egan was something that was in these documents that just stood out to me. And then there's the Constitution of the United States Postal Constitution or something like that. Acts of the Union.
What is it called? Egan? E-G-I-N?
EAGAN.
Mm-hmm. You rattled off
Okay.
some
And when
forms.
you are registering,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Whenever you guys are doing your setup for your stuff, you need to make sure you are doing it in your all caps name. Something that the lady at the place told me today. She was like, if you're not putting it in your all caps name, then it's not going to go through. That was her literal words. So we got to make sure that when you set up your EPS account that you're using that all caps name. So I guess that is taking control of your straw man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the post office is the original, like, governors of the United States. They used to actually carry pew-pews, and it was like a very big job, especially being postmaster. And our first several presidents started out as postmasters and moved their way up to become president, but they were postmasters. Just like they are, yes, electronic postal system. Our constitutional court, our Supreme Court is our postal court. The account that I'm talking about setting up is your oh, sorry, your electronic postal system, or
Enterprise.
yeah, thank you, because I'm tired. I'm gonna have to go to bed soon, but
Well, and I want to say that even Sloan was talking about that today. That was the EPS and then the CRID and the MID.
yes,
Yeah.
and you'll get all of that through the Postal One. So once you get your post office business account, you'll navigate over to that Postal One account and set up your EPS account. And you have to do a certificate of ownership, and you have to get a permit. But the permit's not, none of it's really hard to do. But I was thinking the other day, I don't know if you guys could hear the video if y'all watched it, but I was thinking about how toner ink is worth more than gold. And we're registering these publications, certificate of publications and stuff. And, you know, it's the birth certificates that's issued for all the securities behind it. Like, what is it with ink? Why is it so valuable? Is it a certain kind of ink? I don't.
After you do the certificate of ownership, what happens then?
Well, then you're gonna have to set up. You're gonna have to set up an appointment with the people in control of the accounts, the financial accounts, and they'll have to like give your account like the all clear go ahead for. Like, you're gonna have to fund. So when you set up the account, the trust is already there, but you do have to make a deposit into it just to fund it. But once you've funded it, it is funded.
So is there somewhere that you keep all of this information, like the step by step?
I am working on getting it all together. I do have a Discord and I do have a Telegram. I would like to get with a couple people. I keep saying it, but I would like to get with a couple people. I would like to find anybody that works with software or website designing. I would like to find somebody into that.
Website designing.
Something, I would like to create a system. My husband actually came up with the idea today, and it was genius. Of like making a one-stop shop to get all of that information.
Okay. So,
It's Starseed Problems 22. I'm sorry.
so I mean, there's little plugins you can buy that already have a website, a design for it, and you just pretty much, they have templates for that. They have, I mean, it's really just more about putting it together more so than the design, unless you just want it to like a particular look or something like that. And even I could even help with something like that. I haven't done it in a while, but I used to have my own hair company about 10 years ago. But I might be a little rusty, but it's definitely something I can help with.
That would be awesome. My husband really did have a good idea to have it all in one place for people to go and get the information, because right now it is so spread out. People are getting misinformation, disinformation, and the process has to be simpler than what we're making it, is all I'm saying.
Right. And then some people just like to gatekeep information. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah.
Ego.
Or
Because
maybe
it's a lot
they
of work.
it's going to run out or something. Like maybe if too many people do it, then the government will take it away.
I think what it is people, it's a lot of work to like try and teach people a process like this, especially when nobody knows anything about it. You know, most people catch on pretty quickly, but then some people, it takes them actually physically seeing it, or, you know, it's a lot. My inbox goes crazy. And I can't I can't hold everybody's hand. It would be impossible. So I would like to get like a centralized place for everybody to go for this process, because we have got to help our brothers and sisters when we get over there on the other side.
Right.
And find this freedom. We have got to come back for them. And
We should be able to fund the account by way of a negotiable instrument, or even
yes,
or even a registered security, something like a car title or a birth certificate. Or
have you guys heard of postal currency?
No.
So it is fractional currency is what they call it.
And what is that? Explain that.
So I'm thinking it's like the money orders. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I know we got some post office people up in here in the chats right now. Truth seeker for sure. But yeah, I think it's like the money orders, but you can fund it via the electronic funds transfers, which is
Bankwire.
yes, from that you're connecting to the postal account, basically.
And it makes so much sense, because that right there is where we could buy the money orders, or even transfer in the, like if people bought foreign currency or dinar, like I bought Zim and then Dong, and I'm kind of scared to take it to the bank because they're so sneaky snake. There's quite the difference in the denomination of it versus the public side versus the private side. Because if I go into the bank with it, it may not give me the amount that I'm looking for. But if I send it into the treasury on the private side, it's going to be a higher amount. So I would rather do it on like a more private, like through the postal service, versus a sneaky snake bank, like Wells Fargo,
They have special handlings just for like gold and silver and all that. I mean, there's actually so many different rules to that stuff.
Yeah, from my understanding, you keep the stuff yourself and you just make up the bond. and have somebody witness that you actually have that stuff. You don't turn over your items.
So you would just basically do, I mean, all promissory notes and bills of exchange or
Yeah.
postal currency,
Yeah.
because yeah, there's a whole manual. There's a couple different manuals of different parts of this. I've been reading on it for weeks, and
And I still get the monthly update manual in the mail for all the new stamps coming, even though I don't have the post office anymore. They continue to send them to me.
Hey, I have
my
a
friend.
Go ahead, Mama.
Oh, I was just gonna say, my friend that works there, he's got some manuals from like the '90s, but that would do no good anymore. So,
No.
anyways, what was your question?
My question is, on some of the stamps I was looking over, it says forever, but the forever has a line through it. Does anybody know why?
Forever stamp, buy them up, because when the postage goes up, they really don't have any value. The teapot ones, the 1 cent ones, those are the ones you want. And yeah, and the $5 stamps. And then another thing is the bird stamp. Anybody that hunts and everything, the bird stamp's has some significance. Because the only place you can get it is at the post office. Like going and getting your hunting license. If you bird hunt, you can't get it anywhere but at the post office.
I just wondered why it said forever and then there's a line through it. That was just the weirdest thing to me. Like, why would you have the word forever and then a line through the word forever? Like, if you didn't want it there, why don't you just take it off of it? But it has to be there for a reason.
Maybe that line through it means it's canceled out. I don't know.
I know that they have out like 1 ounce stamps.
Yeah.
Those are really good ones, and maybe it's like the 2 ounce stamp. I'm not exactly sure. I do have the Stamp Act, and I have it in my Telegram.
The 1, 2, and 3 cent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they refused to sell. I got kicked out of my post office.
See, they can't do that. I used to have to order them for people if we didn't have them. Actually, because mine was a contract unit, I had to go through my postmaster, the main post office, and I would have to put in an order, send to her, and then she'd have to send it back to me through registered mail, just like how we're talking about, even though we're 16 miles apart, because it has to go through the cage with the little seal on it and all that.
What's the case?
So I know the process of all that stuff, but I never knew anything about doing a redemption process through the post office. I mean, it was never dawned on me.
What kinds of things can you redeem? And some that you've already had approved.
So one of the things, so I've only had 2 things go through, and one of them was actually a post office box. But it did pay for it and it zeroed out the account nonetheless. And then the other thing, it was for my tuition. So I didn't actually put that in. I called and had them help me do that. So, but I do have an appointment tomorrow, or today, I guess, at 3. So
To have help you.
they have a customer service. So once you get in the Postal One account and you start getting that set up, you'll see that they have customer service members.
Is the postal one account attached to once you open up a PO box? Is that the same as a postal one account?
It's different, but yes, it is attached to it. So you need a special kind of PO box. You can't just have like a regular PO box. It's got to be a business PO box with a collar attached to it or something. The collar service is attached to it.
Can it be a trust? Is that the same? It's like long as it's not an individual account, right? Or an
Right.
individual. So you could just like say your all capital. You were talking about earlier, all capital on the EPS account. So it'd be all caps, and then just put trust or estate behind it, so that it won't be an
Basically,
individual.
you want to not use your social security number for this. We're trying to get out of the habit of giving our social security number and start using these EIN numbers. That way, we are not giving up all of our securities.
Okay, so when you open up the box for the non-individual, you use a EIN instead of a social. But they don't ask for a social when you open up a box, do they?
No.
For this account, you're going to end up using your EIN. You do have to register the business through them.
And when you say this account, you mean the EPS
The
account
postal one.
/ postal one? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, but you don't need that initially to start the PO box, right?
No, you do need it because you need the postal one account to get the PO box that you need.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's free. If you can go to irs.gov and during business hours get a free EIN, one per day.
We already have one for our business, but we need to get we want to have post office estates and trusts.
Yeah, I would open up a totally different one. If you have your business, that would be your one, and then I would open up one like with your name, and then like for me, mine has my name, and then it says trust at the end of it.
Gotcha. And that's just making the separation from individual account, right? Basically.
Yeah, because like the Rockefeller guy, he ended up having over like 200 EIN, no, like trusts.
Oh yeah, you can have a trust, for everything.
Yeah.
You can have.
So you would make that one trust with the EIN, and then like you would do all your like bills through it. That would be part of your ledger.
Right. So, because you can like kind of go stir crazy coming up with a strategy to like for consolidation for all your trust and estates, and you can like a foundation. So, when you say one EIN for all of his bills, so he got an EIN and attached it to his entity like a trust or whatever, and then he conveyed all of his bills, the titles on his bills to that trust. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would think so because then everything, all your bills are going to be conveyed to like the trust name. So like say your trust name is Sunflower Trust, then your Verizon would be called Sunflower, the title, the person that's billed would be Sunflower Trust. And then let's say you have AT&T and you opened an account. You would open that account with that EIN, the trust. So for me, I like to have an organization. Like I don't want to get it too messy in my head. So all my bills would be like under one trust name. So they would all come to Sunflower Trust. I'm just making that name up. That's not my trust name, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you said you had a business, so your business would be totally different than what your bills are, just like they are now. Because like all of your bills are underneath your social security number. Well, you want to kind of get away from that and put it underneath, and I'm not telling you what to do. This is literally you creating your own castle, your own creation for your family legacy. However you want to set it up. If you want to have each bill have its own EIN, then rock on. But if not,
Well, that's a lot. That's a lot to manage.
yeah.
And so some people say completely like close all of your individual accounts. That, I mean, and yeah, people do what they do for their purposes. That seems like a lot of work to me, where you can just simply go in and change the responsible party.
You're gonna retitle it.
Yeah, you just retitle it, and on with some of the accounts, it's as simple as going online and changing it, or calling them up and say, "Hey, I need to change the responsible party,"
Yep.
and they'll just do it, right there over the phone. But they have to go in, like you want to get the social security number out of there, so that the minor disabilities attached to the account can be removed. That's the idea. So yeah, that's that part. And it is even better if there's a separation of the address for the responsible party from the what am I trying to say? Like from the principal or from the debtor. Yeah.
Did
So
you change
that's
the PO box address for that?
absolutely.
And
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. And so this information though about the iPostal thing being attached to the PO box is news to me. It's because we were thinking of getting, you can, so then, like, depending on how you want to set up your strategy, you could end up with a whole bunch of PO boxes. And that wouldn't be like cost effective, and it, again, hard to manage. So someone was mentioning that you can have open up one box and have a lot of as many addressees for that box, I guess, as you want, and that would be likened unto like various DBA names, or setting up an agency with and the different DBAs or addressees are the various agents within the agency. So
And
yeah,
remember when you close down an account, like let's say you close down your Verizon account, you can close down the public side, but the private side will stay open. So when you close it down, make sure that you say you want both sides to be closed down, the public and the private, because we on the public side would think, oh, okay, well, I closed my bank account down or I closed my Verizon account down. Meanwhile, the sneaky snakes are still trading our stuff on the private side because we didn't say anything about that. We left that
yeah.
open. That's
So
just yeah.
should we leave it open then, so that for adjustment and set off, which is one definition in Black's Law Dictionary of close account, it says a close account. The definition of it is for set off and adjustment, because it's still open. It's the other side of the ledger for that particular asset.
Yeah,
So
or can't we claim it? Could we go back and then claim the estate, or I'm not sorry. Not sorry. Not the estate. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Sorry. You're claiming the interest on the back end of that. Is that how you would do that?
I mean, I don't know. I think that's where a trust would come in handy. So you
Okay.
could convey the interest, over to the trust. But I don't know how that works. From my purposes, I mean, I like, do what you do with the thing. They've been doing what they do anyway. I just don't ice me out, because I mean, I don't want to, not for redemption purposes, but for, yeah, access, in order to do what it's designed to do, and that's for adjustment and set off. So it's another instrument of value, or a charging instrument that can be surrendered to for settlement. You see, because it's the debit side of the account, if that makes sense. So it gets kind of, I get kind of wonky trying to keep it all straightened out, but it appears to me that access for private use what we want to attain, you know.
I understand that.
So when you set up your trust, you should put it in your name in all capital letters, right?
I would say no, because you want to create separation. That's the purpose, is to create that separation. The all capital name is the underwriter, debtor, if you will, and that's what needs representation. So I mean, I've heard different schools of thought. I think, you know, people need to do what's best for them and what makes sense. And for me, what's manageable, you know. But I've heard it said that you want to create a trust for the interest of the all caps and create that separation with a different name.
Well, based off of what they told me today, you have to use the all caps name in the creation of this EPS account. So I don't know if you would, and the names have to match. So I don't
Yeah, the
know
entitlement holder needs to, yeah.
if you would have to have.
So I think we're talking about different things because, yeah, that's true.
No, we
that,
definitely are, because there's a bunch of different paths you can go. I just don't want to have
Right.
people confused, because when we talk about a bunch of different processes, people that aren't as that haven't been doing this as long, I don't want to confuse them.
Yeah,
So
and so and specifically, if we're talking about utilizing the post office's tools. So if they tell you, if that's what the instructions that they give, that in order to have that account, that EPS account specifically, because they got some other ones too. They got one for that it says it's a corporate account. So, but the idea there is that they're not individual accounts. You see, and so yeah, that makes sense. That it would need to be in the whatever the entitlement holder title is. It needs to match whatever you're trying to control, if that makes sense. So I don't know, but that I mean, yeah, it for them to say that it needs to be in an all capital name. So the conversation would have had to go along those lines of you wanting to create the account like as an estate account, a estate coded account, meaning not individual, and the estate title is that what's already set up, and that's your all caps. And so some people were talking about just open up a post office, a PO box with your all capital name and just put estate or put LLC or put, you know, trust, so that it's not in a individually coded account, because that's the one that has the disabilities on it. It's the one that needs to be, you know, protected, because you know what I mean, because it's an individual account and not a non-individual account.
So,
and that makes sense.
Yes. So
it's better to put it in all caps.
well, it just depends on it is you're talking about, babe, and it's just so, you know, it's a lot. We to be very very specific. So with regards to the account, the EPS account that the sister has gotten some knowledge on, then, you know, follow the instructions that were given to her specifically for the title of an EPS account when it comes to creating trust for whatever your purposes are. So for the purpose of creating separation,
Well, I
it's
was speaking specifically for this, the topic.
for the EPS account.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I would say the sister who's brought it up and opened up the live, she was told specifically how to do it. I would follow those instructions if it were me.
Okay. So, Stardust, do you have what kind of trust did you set up for your EPS account?
So actually, mine is not even, I didn't do this under a trust account because I, whenever I actually set this account up, I didn't know anything about any of this. I set my postal USPS business account up over a year ago. And then I was kind of doing some research and I kind of stumbled into this stuff and I started doing more research. And so I started setting up my Postal One account and I used my LLC, which it's for businesses. So you can use either an LLC or a trust. I would, if I could go back and do it again, I would use a trust. But there's a trust already in your name through the Postal One account. Like when you set up your EPS account, there's already a trust there that you just have to transfer funds into to act, like basically to activate it, to get funds in it.
When you say it's already set up, are you saying because this iPostal strategy is it recognizes your all caps estate and the funding account, the social security number? Is that what you mean by that?
I'm not okay. So I've noticed a correlation with the numbers on my birth certificate and the numbers with that account, but I don't know the exact correlation to it. Whenever I set up my EPS account, there was a trust account there already. I didn't set it up, I didn't do anything with it. It was already there. And everybody that has done this process this far has had the same encounter.
Is the trust account your is your estate and trust your all capital name? Is that what it is?
I think so.
Because you open it up with your social security number, then that would make sense. It identifies
Right.
the underwriter. See, that's what that title is. Our all capital title is the underwriter part of the estate, and social security number is the escrow, the funding account, and it was set up in order to do business and commerce, but it needs a protector. It needs a representative to do to operate it. Because if we don't operate it, then that's where all of the other trustees step in and they control it, and then they act like they're the beneficiaries for it as well. So that's the idea. I mean, that's what's going on, that we don't, that we're unaware of how to, control. So it sounds like, based on what you're saying, when you say there's a trust already there, that trust is our state, the all capital birth certificate estate and trust.
Kind of what I was getting out of it too. Now,
Right.
I found this process like 2 weeks ago now. So I kind of started out, I was going through a different process and somehow I wound up at the Postal Services. But it since I've thought about it, it's made sense, and it's made sense to everybody that I've talked to about it.
Right, absolutely. When we know the fundamentals and the foundation of what's going on, it's the post office, not the postal service. The post office is the only non-bankrupt bank or intermediary that exists, because all the other, all the corporations, the intermediaries, the banks, the brokerages, maybe even the department, the Treasury Department. They're all bankrupt, and they need our titles. They need our estates in order to fund their businesses,
They need our gold.
which is our signatures,
Well,
that
we
which is our
actually
title.
precipitate monatomic gold too.
Absolutely. And so the post office is the only thing that is like a true, has like, I want to say true value, like those money orders and stuff. The post office has its own money. And so
Yeah, it's called sure currency or something like that.
which is the money order. And apparently, it's, if you, a $1 money order is worth exponentially more, like 10 times more, compared to like FRNs.
So, y'all know how whenever you get your birth certificate authenticated and they're doing, I've heard a lot of people authenticate it to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And I was looking into the, there's this, something that the Postal Service does that they send it to like 10 different countries, like I forget exactly what it was, but 10 different countries, but they're all like, I can't think of the right word right now, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, so I'm just not going to say it.
All
I'm
the
so tired.
countries have like a claim or a stake in the birth certificate, in that certificate.
I want to say like Hispanic or Latin countries. That's what they said.
So how could you, if a money order is worth 10 times more, how can you actually, where could you match the money order to, or place the money order to convert it to that amount?
That's a really good question. So I've heard of various strategies. Folks who they operate their estate in commerce from their private capacity for for private use through the post office. And so what the sister was saying, she does this, she's getting away from using banks, and so she will, if she gets any type of check or something, a redemption check, because she's doing some various redemptions, she'll take the check and go convert it to money orders at the post office. And converting meaning she goes, takes a check and buys money orders with it, and then she uses those money orders at like the grocery store. It's it's just like a conversion game. So she'll go there and use the money order, write the money order out for how much her groceries are. And then if any cash is involved, if she has to get cash to pay for something, then she always takes that and whatever's left over, and she converts it back to a money order. So I can't really articulate it really well. I've just heard of various strategies, but it'll become like second nature when we start to unlearn the wrong way, which is doing everything in the public, and start to execute the transactions from our private capacity for private use. So it's it's a whole learning curve, and what do they call that, a paradigm shift, because we just haven't been taught this. Because we went to public school and they taught us how to be all out in the public, operating, naked with our social security numbers just out there for for anybody, any pirate to come in and, steal and then hypothecate our title and stuff. Because that's what's going on. It's a transfer of titles. Yeah. Because there's, we think it's money transactions and stuff, but there isn't any of that.
Has anybody heard of doing a clearing through LexisNexis on your full report?
I have.
Did it work for you?
I've heard of it. I didn't do it.
Okay.
And so I've heard a brother talking about accepting all of the accounts, all of the positive balances that are reported on the LexisNexis report. So it was like a big mic drop when I heard it. He was like, people always want to have things removed from their credit reports. Why would you do that? Don't have it removed. Go claim it, accept it, and claim it. Because those balances that they're reporting are balances on account. They're financial assets that are being held within the corporation's holding company, and they're to be redeemed. So I was like, wow. And then another strategy I heard of is instead of claiming or accepting the balances, you take the LexisNexis report and have all of them, have them all removed or some type of way make a claim.
Well, I heard a few people say that they basically were put on like a do not detain list after they did that.
After they did what?
The LexisNexis, like when I don't know exactly what they did, but talking about taking and locking their account basically. So maybe not clearing it, but locking their account where your stuff
Oh, you
can't
mean like freezing the
Yeah.
report? Is that what you're talking about?
I guess. I'm not exactly sure on the verbiage that she used, but
Well, it's so easy to do that. I froze mine, and I don't know of any do not detain lists. There's so many buzzwords, and what does that even mean? A do not detain is an aspect or a feature or a benefit of having of what a passport provides. Not do not detain, like don't take you to jail. Do not detain your free ability to travel, and which is liberty. So that's what it means. Like I can go anywhere with this thing unencumbered without detention because my right to travel is, I guess, solidified and, organized under this card, this account, which is the passport. So that's what that
how do we
means.
get a passport without a license?
There's an application that you can fill out, and just don't box yourself into any of the boxes on the application. And then you do the explanation statement, and you can, say whatever needs to be said that may not be on the application.
Okay.
So we shouldn't have licenses either?
No. Anytime
Well,
you got anything that you're licensed for is illegal, is not lawful.
So are you sovereign?
No. No, I believe in a constitutional republic.
Well, and with the license, like, so keeping your mind all the way open, the driver's license is an account. All of those cards, plates, they are credit cards according to the codified law of the United States Code and CFR. So if you look at your driver's license and turn it over, there's that little mag strip. It is a access device to a balance on account. So some people are saying, get rid of it, get rid of it, and for a good reason. Others are saying, claim it, accept it, and convey it to your trust.
So what are some of the benefits of getting rid of it versus, let's just say getting rid of it.
Well, there's no principle, a liable principle for the state to charge. So like when you get a ticket and stuff, the licensee, the principal gets charged. So that's one thing. And then if you don't have a driver's license, then you haven't volunteered to be subject to all of the rules and regulations and the terms and conditions of the contract, which makes you basically an employee of the issuer of it, which was the state. So that's another train of thought.
And with a driver's license, even if you don't register to vote, they will pull your license in like a monopoly or a lottery and send you out letters for you to serve on juries and stuff. I know because I got a letter and I had to write up a thing explaining why I could not be a juror.
I got one too one time, and I just didn't respond. I was like 19 or 20. I was super young.
Yeah, they can issue a warrant for your arrest if you don't reply.
Yeah, they did. I mean, as far as I know, they didn't. That was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And then when you become really good at operating your title, your principal that's being warranted, who you get to go accept and claim that as well, because it's an instrument of value that they're giving to you.
Oh, I don't understand. So if you're driving a car, you have no license.
You're not driving a car, you're traveling in your private vehicle. It's a big difference.
See, the driver's license
It's all commercial.
It's a commercial permission for you to do stuff in your commerce. So a driver to them is one who drives passengers around for like a limo driver. That's what your driver's license is. That's why I'm saying you're an employee and you are subject to all of the terms, conditions, all of the cost center rules like seatbelt, all of the traffic laws. They're cost centers for them to be able to charge.
What I was saying is because if you get pulled over, a police officer isn't going to know all of this. He's still going to give you a ticket. Or if
They
you
do
don't,
know. They're supposed to know.
The police officer knows. You don't. So if you don't have a job.
Well, I don't know what happened there.
her phone could have died. Mine had died earlier.
Yeah, mine dies all the time on here. Like, it drains my battery.
So the police officer, he can't arrest you if you don't provide a driver's license or tell you that you can't drive your car.
I mean, they can do whatever they want because they do, but they're not. If there's not rightful suspicion of a crime being committed, then you don't have to produce your driver's license.
You don't have to produce ID, period.
Yeah.
Supposedly, the cops are only allowed to put their lights on if there's an emergency that they're going to. Otherwise, they're not
exactly.
supposed to have them on.
Right.
And if you are a private person, do not by any means get out your fucking vehicle, unlock your door, or roll your window down too much to where they can have access to you.
Okay, but if they tell you to step out of the car, then I mean I've seen this go wrong for a lot of people.
I've seen it too. Tell them that you want to speak to their sergeant. Have them call the sergeant and have him come down. Because a lot of people, just like we didn't know about this, there's a lot of cops that do not know. Now, yes, you do still have your cops that are the little pricks.
And you have
But
to stay respectful. Don't go into this being an a-hole and thinking you're gonna like win
yeah, see,
something.
that'd be me. They'd be throwing my ass in jail. But be
Maybe.
nice to him and have him call his supervisor or somebody, and they'll get somebody out there that knows what the heck you're talking about.
Okay. So what was the phrase again that I used? Did I tell him when he says that I'm driving without a license?
You're
You
not
are
driving, you're
traveling in
traveling.
your private vehicle.
Okay. I'm traveling in my private vehicle. And so what about insurance and tags and stuff like that?
No,
The
no.
insurance, I think you still need because, well,
It's all again. I mean, I don't know. A lot of this is based off of insurance. A lot of these sureties are backed by insurance. So
Hate paying insurance. So if I can get out of it, like how can I do this, or should I do this with insurance and the tags on my car?
Put
study.
everything, do you have a business? Put everything in your business trust and then get your business insurance, and then that car is covered.
Business insurance, and then my car is covered.
And it's a lot cheaper. But you have to list everything in your business, in the trust part of the business.
Okay.
Now, what could be a downside to listing all of your stuff in the trust?
As long as it's a revocable trust, there shouldn't be any downside because you still have access to it.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, I've done a lot of research, but just yeah.
I
And it
probably
does.
won't put all the things in my trust, but like my car, where I know I'm at risk because I'm driving. So
You should put like your house, like your kids as your beneficiaries, all of that, because whenever you do that, you pull them from being belonging to the state, the register, and the what is it? I can't even think right now. But your kids don't belong to you right now.
okay, so I put my children in the trust,
As the beneficiary.
beneficiaries, and then with that that insurance on my trust, they would also have insurance.
Your trust is the insurance. See, remember what we were talking earlier about the estate, your all capital state? That is the underwriter for your business entity that was set up at the recordation of your live birth. At that moment, your estate was set up for you and for the state and for all corporations to do business in commerce with. So your all capital title name is the underwriter for your estate. So that's what's going on. What happens is every time we give our name and our social security number, that a lien, if you will, a claim is made against it so that corporation can get access to your credits to fund their business. That's what's going on at the very foundational level with the usage of your all capital estate, and that you initiate. So with that in mind, go Google self-insurance or self-insurance, and then put your state's name after that in the Google search. Self-insurance for your state. The state has codification of how you can use your all capital title as self-insurance. And I'm not telling you that it's like something that you can figure out overnight, but that a lot of people are doing that, and they're using their own identification, like there's a barcode on their little ID card that points to either the state's acknowledgement of self-insurance, and they'll have like their own auto bond that they created attached, not attached, but it's a part of their identification and their self-insurance. So yeah, that part. I know it's like mind blowing, but you're already insured for everything.
Okay, but she was just saying that I needed to have a trust and then put my car in the trust and buy insurance for the trust, and then my car would be insured.
Okay, so you can go to your state's Department of Motor Vehicle website, and because they are a financial institution and an intermediary, they have all of the forms and stuff that you need to express that. And so in my state, there's a form called Trustees Statement for a Certificate of Title. And it's a real short form. It asks for the VIN number, the trust name, the beneficiary, the trustee. And it's, in saying, okay, are you able to take responsibility? Because basically what you're doing is you are changing the responsible party at the DMV. It's a notice that there's a new responsible party, and that is your trust. And then at the bottom of it is where it gets real juicy. It says, hey, you hold the Department of Motor Vehicles harmless and indemnify. That means they don't have anything else to do with your stuff. So hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. They also have power of attorney forms right there. And it says power of attorney for motor vehicle only. And what that does is it kicks them out, if you will, from acting like it's their stuff. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm not going to know which forms to look for the name, in my state, but it's so they have it on their website, or you go and
Yes, ma'am. They have. You know how like the IRS has a whole bunch of forms and stuff. Those are all notices for us to instruct them how to serve, because that service, they have service at the end of their title. The agency is to serve our estates, those of us who are expressing agency over it in the form of a fiduciary notice or a power of attorney. So the way I found the form, because you're right, the title of the form is gonna, like, you might, what the hell is this? Just know that the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, is a office of the Department of Revenue for your state. So motor vehicles, they're vehicles of commerce. The vehicle is like yes, it's a vehicle of commerce. So we don't travel in motor vehicles. We travel in our private property cars, our travel conveyance. If you call it a motor vehicle, that's what they have like ownership of, if you will, and it's what's attached to the certificate and all that stuff. So that's what the state uses to fund the state's, business activity, because the state is a business.
And what did you call those forms again?
They're just the forms that are on every financial institutions, intermediaries website that are available for you to tell them who you are, just to make it real plain. So the way I found out about this form for my state, I called up the DMV because I wanted to change the responsible party, and I didn't say it that way. I was like, hey, um, I need to what did I say? Oh, retitle. I need to retitle, my car and everything. And so I got passed around a little bit because now I'm asking questions about more of the like private side of things. Okay. And so a lady comes on and she goes, oh yeah. So first I was asking about, she said, well, do you have a loan? And I'm like, well, yeah. And she's like, well, you need to do it there. And then she just got real honest and she said, go to the website, here's the form number, fill that out, and then you would have accomplished, changing responsible party. And lo and behold, you guys, it's a trust document. And when you fill that out, and again, it's not a real crazy form. It's like, what's the VIN number? What's the name of the trust? Who is the beneficiary? Who is the trustee? Do you have authorization to get to do a register? And then it says, well, you're indemnifying us. Like, we don't have nothing to do with this. Because if you think about it, that we have to register the motor vehicle with them. They're the ones who should be handling the insurance, and they do because I gave you a driver's license. The driver's license is another insurance policy. That's why everybody's always asking for it. The driver's license number, those numbers and stuff, like Starseed's been telling us, those are account numbers. Those are numbers that are referencing a balance on an account, a financial asset that's being held in some financial institution's holding company. Okay, so the driver's license number, the social security number, those are like routing numbers and stuff, because there is an account that has credits on it for us to use for private funding of the necessary goods and services to acquire them via transactions. So that it's all of it. Everything is business, is commerce. So you can call them up, sis, and say, hey, I need to, what's the form that you guys have? So I can let you know that I'm putting my car into a trust. You can say something like that. You can say, I need to change financial responsibility, and they'll tell you. It's a whole bunch of them.
I'm trying to look up some stuff over here on my computer.
Okay. I saw a self-insurance, a private identification card, and the brother had his name of his trust on there, the car, the registration number that he used to register his car, the post office registration number, because he didn't register it with the DMV. And there's a barcode on there, and the barcode takes you to his state's self-insurance information. And that's what he uses because he got tired of, the police always trying to force him into a business transaction. That's what they're doing. They're just doing business.
Yeah, not a fun way.
No, it's not. And but the ones that know, you just, you don't. They'll say, well, you have to have a driver's license in order to operate a motor vehicle. Well, I'm not operating a motor vehicle. I'm traveling in my private trust's property.
Oh.
And then it's like, oh, okay. And then, well, I need proof of insurance. Well, my insurance is my underwriter estate. And there's like, oh, he's like, oh, okay, oh, yeah.
Huh.
And then he said to me, oh, we have self-insurance too. So, and I said, hey, we're in the process of conveying our property, our automobile property, into our trust, and we just haven't submitted the paperwork yet. Okay, no problem. Do you have it? Yep, it's right here. Okay, cool. Make sure you get that. Keep that on you. He didn't say turn it in. He said keep that on you in case, a traffic officer, that's what he said, needs to see that. And then the other thing is they're super, super, super nosy. Like they think everybody is at work because they're at work. I'm not at work. I'm traveling. I'm peacefully enjoying the beneficial enjoyment of nature, which is my grant of, life and power from my maker.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and it's nothing ominous. They're just doing business, and okay, fine. I'm not mad at you. Do your business. I ain't got nothing to do with your business. So you dang sure don't got nothing to do with mine. Some people have figured out how to be real good, counter business partners when they get presented or issued an instrument of value. Even if they get pulled over, that's a detention. They've stopped your free flow of travel, which is your right. And they'll go get the bond for that particular man or woman who detained them, and they will monetize that. Since you forced me into some performance, and you got to pay me. Now, ain't that funny?
You mean like in court?
No, heck no. Court schmort. By getting their bond and
Yeah.
or if you do go to court, you don't go into the courthouse or courtroom. You go deal with the court's banker, the clerk, and you go endorse that instrument of value that was issued to you.
Court is
For
held on
settlement.
paper. The court is the four corners of that paper.
Right.
Like the ticket or the release papers or something?
What'd you say?
Like the the ticket or the release papers from if they lock you up or something?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know what you're asking. I'm sorry.
What is the issue of value?
The instrument, what they hand you, they're issuing you a presentment. They're giving you some credits that so you're supposed to either you're supposed to perform. Either you pay or you perform. And performance is doing your just banking duty to endorse that thing, and give it right back to them for settlement or for redemption. They just handed you some money. They're doing business. The only way that corporations can operate is by issuing bonds and gaining investors, raising money from investors that they have to pay back interest. And that's the part where, what we don't do. We don't do that last part. If we have to perform, then we should be paid. So there's people who have figured out banking, because that's all this is, and they take the instruments, the issuant, they were issued a warrant, a ticket, or whatever, and they go right over to the that issuer's bank, and they complete the transaction. I hope you just picking up what I'm putting down, because that's what it is. it's an oversimplification, but that is those who operate that way, they do it real simply, just like that.
I think I'm getting what you're putting down.
I know you is.
I hear
It's
that.
just from listening to people who have figured out how to do business in commerce from their private capacity for purposes of private use. That's the key, because everything that we're doing, it's like we're doing it as an employee, as a worker for commerce, and we're not doing that. We're doing it, privately. We're enjoying, that what we've been granted dominion over, and that is everything to enjoy, but beneficial enjoyment. We're beneficiaries.
It's just waiting for us.
What's that?
I said it's just waiting on us to claim it.
Right. I mean, that's ours upon creation.
Mm-hmm.
We do, claim it, and then, just expressing it. A trust need only be expressed. I have a friend who, her husband was pulled over, or they were about to tow the car or something, and she showed up and she said, "You cannot touch that. That is trust property." And they're like, "Well, what's the name of the trust?" And blah blah blah. The name of the trust is the entitlement holder that you're looking up, the principal on that license. Well, we don't have that in our. He was like, "Well, we don't see that in our system, because when you do that paperwork I was talking about earlier, it's in their system. Like, and you can even get a plate from them that has the name of your trust on it. You feel me? So it's not on in their jurisdiction, and that plate is a notice to anybody who knows enough to want to know that this ain't yours."
Don't touch this.
Right. And so they were able to not take her husband's car because she expressed that. Now, is it on paper? Do they have notice of it? No, but she told them that's trust property.
Huh. Okay. I'm getting what you're putting down right there.
And then what she does to register her property is she gets the registered mail stickers, and she'll activate them by mailing them to herself. So now they're activated, and she will use that registration number to, I don't know, that I have to talk to her again about it. She does it all the time. She just rattles it off. But they're like, "Is it
So,
registered?" Yeah, it's registered to under this registration number, to my
oh
post
my
office.
goodness. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I bet you can register somehow through registered mail, because
Yeah,
it's completely different than any other kind of mail that we've got.
absolutely.
I knew it.
And that's you were talking earlier about needing to have an EIN and stuff. That registered mail number, that's your account number. That's that's the identification number. That's your number. You see? And it's from the post office. So it ain't no bank or nothing. It ain't like even EINs and stuff. Those are identification numbers, tax identification numbers. So that that registered mail sticker is
So are we talking
yours.
the CRID number?
I'm talking about the registered mail stickers, the red and white ones.
Right. I think that's the CRID number though. I'm just trying to
I'm
figure
not
out
aware
what.
of that. But that's what
Okay.
so people use that to register things. So like You can, that little R with the circle around it. That's something that's registered, and they do it. People do it in a number of different procedures, but essentially, you mail something to yourself registered, and now it's and if you do it, mail it to your post office box. Now it hit that post office box because, like you were saying earlier, it's trust. Whether you call it that, the title of the box is that or not, and then they keep those records, on their private records, or some people will do a notice. They'll have that recorded, not registered, but recorded for notice. And the one brother I know who did it, he got his plate, his plate for his car is the registered mail number that he used to register his car. So he's the one who then turned around and made his own identification card with said numbers on it.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It all goes through the post office, man. That's
Yep.
all these other agencies are not for us. The Postal Service has been there since before the United States was formed.
Mm-hmm.
They are for us. They are.
It's like the only private bank register for private Americans. So
Yeah, I would recommend anybody read the postal manuals because there's a lot in there. But I knew it. I knew we could register the vehicles and certify stuff through them. Like,
when they're talking about registered securities, you think that's like some big hoopah. Registered security is any instrument of value.
so like
that
your
you-
title to your vehicle, you register it. That's your registered security. You register your
Absolutely.
marriage license. Your
Yep, and yep.
okay, I'm following.
So like when they when you're reading in the codes about how to do a bill of exchange, for example, you you send the bill and fill out the remittance transfer coupon, paid to the order, whatever, and send it to the corporation who sent it to you, registered mail. Now you have a registered security. Looky there.
There we go. There we go.
Some people there's some people that are really I don't know, I guess it helps me not to feel discouraged, but there's people who live this way. And so at the post office, when you start using your post office box, you want to use that phone book. And I have a couple of them, but looking at it kind of makes my head hurt sometimes. But those are people who are really keeping good track of their own ledgers and books that no one has any, control over or any jurisdiction over. It's your private stuff.
Right.
And
And
so
if we don't start taking care of our own finances, we're going to end up right back where we are. If we don't learn and do this stuff for ourselves.
yeah, it's a lot. I'm just gonna be honest.
Oh yeah.
Confession is good for the soul. It's overwhelming for me. Some people, I don't. They teach their kids or they like it or whatever. But yeah, it's so much to unpack using the post office. I just hang out and I listen to people who do it and who want to share, who have a heart and mind to share. There's a lady on YouTube. Her name is she's Christina M. Wilson, and she was breaking down that whole post office or
I think her account's blocked right now.
Okay, let me get her name right quick.
Oh, is she blocked, Starseed?
Me?
Well, I think she's blocked. I like TikTok. I think
Oh.
TikTok has her account blocked right now
Oh, okay.
because
Okay.
somebody told me to look her up yesterday, and I tried to, and it was
Go to YouTube.
Okay,
YouTube.
Crystal with
Is
the C, right?
K.
Oh.
Christina M. Wilson. And she has a really good handle and comprehension of
So is it Christina or Crystal?
Christina.
Jan?
Girl, go on your computer right now and go to YouTube. Go to YouTube right now and punch in. Start tapping in KRIS, and I promise you she's gonna pop up. Just do it right now, you'll see. And then just start watching her videos. It's going to transform your mind. Now, caveat, she's been studying, and she has taken herself through the fire, so to speak, with executing her own strategies. She's had a teachers, obviously, and she'll tell you all about that. But there's a tremendous amount of prerequisites involved with what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
come up. But you don't have to give it to me. Whatchamacallit give it to me. I just need to spell her middle name.
It's not on there on YouTube like that.
What's her last? You said Wilson?
Yes, ma'am. And she took that manual Starseed and she just went crazy with, like, she just jumped into it. She homeschools her kids, and so she has that kind of like mind that processes information in an efficient manner, and then she applied it to some knowledge that she got from some other teachers, and she just ran with it. But yeah, she uses the post office and the certified mail stickers and the registered mail stickers to take control over her accounts. So you'll see a very, very popular video where she used her post office box and the certified mail sticker to to settle her energy bill.
it was Christina Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not. She didn't pop up on my YouTube. Hold on. Is she on Hell's Kitchen? Because that's what's popping up.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
This is embarrassing. Feeling my pain?
Oh. And whenever I looked her up on YouTube or on TikTok, it said her account was banned. See, I'm not the best at I can take in all of the information and break it down and do all that, but like I'm not very organized. So I need like somebody to organize my thoughts for me. Not really. I do it, but
Okay. I'm gonna. Well, Ruth put something in the chat. I'm gonna search what she's.
and it doesn't help that my computer is just not working anymore. Because Because, yeah, I would definitely like to hear what other people have gotten from this post office or postal service stuff. I haven't really heard anybody talk about it. But then again, I didn't really hear anybody talk about any of this stuff, like the stuff that I know that you have to have in order to be able to remit.
A lot of them don't say nothing. I found her Christina Wilson private bank estate and trust.
Throw my computer at a wall.
Okay, I think I found her page finally.
Good evening, everybody. This is Patrick. Today's the 29th of November. I just sent out several more packages today to the IRS. I'm going to detail in what I sent out to the IRS to basically get paid from my FIDE commissary account. I want to start off with one simple item, okay? There's a lot of misleading information put out by all these gurus that are out there charging money, and even some that aren't charging money, that basically are trying to control you in so many different ways. I have no wannabe or ego in trying to control you. It appears that way at times because I really love humanity. I want to try and protect the country and make things right. That's my only goal. I'm not out to try and harm anybody in any way. I am just trying to find out the truth. We're going to start off with taking a simple look at the dollar bill, the Federal Reserve dollar. On there are two things that basically have been misinterpreted or misled, leading the people into false sense of what's going on. The first one is, "In God we trust." Now, you may not comprehend what I'm about to say on this, but when you sit down and really think about it, you should come to the same understanding. It says, "In God we trust." The country of America was set up, and at the start of the preamble, and in almost all the states, the preamble starts off.
Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and head to bed, guys. I will come on here tomorrow after the appointment and let you all know what comes of that. Hopefully it goes good.
Start acting like the owners that we are,
Information.
not with
Good night.
unbridled authority and saying we're in control and all this and that. No, we have to know